Ain't nobody gonna tell me.
Diego's like me, man. You get it.
It's like somebody tell me, Lemon, why you can watch on Disney Plus, you can watch Disney. I got a $60,000 home theater system. That streaming shit don't do shit for my home theater system.
Right, yeah, you want
I'm a person.
And I'm the same way.
Yeah, I'm a movie too. But I refuse PlayStation or Xbox to watch that shit. Period. I got, well, fuck what I got. It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
I have.
That's
like,
I'm serious about
when
you.
I'm serious about my I will never play Xbox. I tried to test them shit and do a review. I didn't even want to talk about it. I just scrapped the whole video.
Oh, damn.
I destroyed both.
I know. I bet I've heard you say it like lots of times.
I'm gonna give you the model number. Take a picture. Yeah,
I still enjoy going to the store. I prefer store game stuff, and I prefer still getting into some copy with my box and opening it up. I'm still the same way I was when I was
No, I think for collecting that,
You're gonna be one of those crotchety old men, Jake.
I got a Street Fighter hard copy, but see, I got
Maybe, Paul.
I got connected to my Street Fighter. I'll buy the collection edition, and I'll trade my game in and get full price to get my money back. And then I'll come home and put on my system, and then I still got my collection. I care about the collection. I'm mad I missed out on the Resident Evil 4. I ain't know they have it. I'm just bored.
like I bought the collector. Even though everybody hates that game,
No, that game is awesome. Fuck you.
I bought the collector's edition Callisto Protocol. That's a badass collector's edition.
You know I don't play single player. I beat that game.
Yeah, love that game.
People complain about Guardians of the Galaxy. Oh, you don't.
Oh, that game's fucking
Man,
awesome.
shut the fuck up. That game.
That game
That game was
great.
Let's put it this way. That was my game of the year. That was my game of the year.
There you go. That's my game of the year.
It was
And Halo.
Halo.
Yeah. It was my game of the year. And I still. And it was. And I played Halo every day. And I love the campaign.
I talked about that Guardians of the Galaxy on the Friday night show on doing
What's up, everybody? How you doing? This is Hud Zero, the old school gamer, and of course the Iron Heart of Xbox, and welcome to Gamers Play. Yes, everyone, I am your host, Hud Zero, the old school gamer, and of course the lover of all gamers out there, and of course a friend of the gaming community and a gaming nation. Tonight is going to be a very special one, a very spicy one, of course. And it's dealing with what's going on with E3 and of course if you actually looked at the title today, we're going to find out more about the Japan FTC and what's going on with the let's find out what's going on with the acquisitions. It turns out that Japan FTC has made some change of heart in the past 24 hours. But before we get into all that, why don't you just go ahead and please hit that like button and hit that subscribe button, and then please share this video if you like the content that you see. As you can tell, I'm actually going to be making some big changes around here. But before we get into that, how about we get into a word with our sponsor. That's right, Gamer Grind Coffee. That's right, Gamer Grind Coffee. We actually have a lot of good flavors, light, medium, and dark. You can use the code HUD0 to actually earn yourself 10% off of your first purchase. And if you do like that, of course, tell them that HUD0 sent you. I have no idea why he keeps on doing that. Anyways, so let's get into that first subject. Oh my gosh, E3, what happened to you? E3, turns out E3 is it's getting a lot of pullouts. It's not looking too good. Well, we already know that Sega, Nintendo, Sony actually gotten pulled out of E3, I guess since 2018, 2019. And Microsoft is actually doing their own thing, and they're not going to be a part of E3 either. And Ubisoft, it turns out that Ubisoft had a little change of heart. They decided they're not going to be attending E3 either. According to this latest post, courtesy of Axiom and a few others, Reddit post. It turns out that, Ubisoft, just said, hey, no, we're not doing E3. We're not joining E3 either. We're going to be doing our own small event, talking about our future of our brand and new IP that we're going to be coming about. Hopefully not some more Assassin's Creeds or anything like that. One is enough. One more, or maybe two more is enough. 10 is excessive. Hopefully they talk about what's happened to Beyond Good and Evil 2, because we didn't know about that since, I don't know, like a decade ago. We don't know what the status of that game is. Any of the devs, we have not got a peep. All we've been getting these little tidbits on about, it's still in development. It's still, still going to be shown. It's not a dead product. Well, yeah, that's what they said about StarCraft Ghost. But we'll get into why I think that StarCraft Ghost might be a reality, hopefully soon. I'm hoping. But let's talk about what everyone's been saying about E3. Alexa, turn off. See what happened to Alexa? Alexa's always doing that. So anyway, but let's talk about this. This is really kind of concerning a lot of people. I mean, because they said, "Oh, this is going to be the E3 that's going to bring it back to form," and yada yada enchilada. But turns out that a lot of people are doubting that E3 is going to return to any form. And to be honest with you, I'm kind of sad. I'm sad about this because E3, man. Everyone knows that E3 used to be the biggest video game stage in the world. All the developers, I'm talking about all the developers, came to E3 to show off their stuff. They actually showed everyone what's going on for the rest of the year and probably beyond. They have a lot of stage demos. They have a lot of previews. They have these big, amazing booths that they actually create. But right now, yeah, I mean, even though ReedPop is a very good company that actually is taking over E3, and they partnered up with the ESA. I have found out, well, actually, I've been hearing some murmurs that it's not looking too good. I mean, this maybe, I'm not saying it is, and hopefully that somebody actually steps in and does something. That E3 is just not what it's turned out to be. I mean, it's not going to be what it used to be. It's just not. We got these content creators now that actually are creating amazing content. It's more accessible. I mean, look what happened to G4 TV. They try to resurrect it. Everyone's getting excited. No, it just turned out to it didn't turn out the way that it was supposed to be. And everyone said that it's old hat and that it's not going to, it's new times, that to gather content the way we do now is different than what the way that we had contact, gather content before, because we didn't have like fast internet. We didn't have all this accessible mobile devices. We didn't have YouTube with all the bandwidth, and we didn't have Twitch TV back in the day. We relied on magazines, and we got our information in snail mail, and the new publication to find out what's going to happen next. And getting into E3 was almost like pulling teeth, and everyone used to, do carpools and stuff like that, going to the LA Convention Center to see E3 for the first time. And they had all these developers, these new ones and old ones, and they have swag. Now, if you don't know what the term swag actually is, free stuff, t-shirts, hats, keychains, pins, merchandise. It was amazing. But now, because all the gimmicky stuff is gone, and people found it to be what's the term? I guess I'm trying to use the term loosely. I don't know. Dumb, or it's too cringy, if that's the word. I guess that's the word. I mean, I don't know if people are using that anymore, but it's just no one likes that kind of entertainment anymore. People like to get, it's like the have it now. We're a have it now generation, and because that all the technology that we have accessible now, no one wants to watch these long events anymore. They want the information quickly. Oh, what else you got? Okay, great. That sounds cool. When's it coming out? Oh, we need it now. Okay, when's it coming out? Is it coming out this year? Why is it not coming out this year? Oh, you showed it to us like a year ago, 2 years ago. When's it coming out? When's it coming out? Oh, that's great. Okay, what console is it coming out for? Oh, I mean, when do I get to play it? Oh, do we see a demo? Is it coming out for Game Pass? You see what I'm saying? You know, we're the need it now generation. We had to have it now. But here's a problem. Now that games, since the pandemic, right now we actually have a lot of people who are getting kind of edgy. I guess the word very edgy about the games that are coming out now, because there's so many games coming out. There's a lot of games coming out, and there's more games than we can actually handle, and everyone wants to can't play everything all at once. I mean, the Game Pass, don't get me wrong, is the greatest. It's the greatest deal in gaming. It really is. It's now to the point where maybe there's too many games coming out. Okay, you want to say? What are you gonna say? There's never enough. Well, technically, yeah, but not really. I mean, look at me. I mean, I'm a content creator. I mean, I'm actually trying to get out all the information. There's new games coming out all the time. I don't have time to kind of do that because I'm actually in between work and trying to take care of my son and my wife and everything with her, with her medical conditions and stuff like that. I'm doing all this stuff. And video games pretty much is almost in the back burner. But the thing is that I love video games, and I still also still want to do content creation because it's something fun. It's something to keep my mind off of the realities of the world. But now, there's almost too many games. And there's games that I want to play. And there's new games that are coming out right now. I haven't even gotten an opportunity to actually get my hands on the new Resident Evil 4, which just came out. And then we got Wolong. I didn't even get into that yet. And then, of course, there's the Inshin Like the Dragon. That came out. Everyone's like, oh, why don't you just play games to completion? I was like, well, I actually had to spend all my time to try to go through Brock the Investigator. And there's like 11 endings in that game, And then, of course, I found a couple of tricks and stuff like that. And, then you got the editing and all that stuff. I mean, come on. There's only so much that I can actually do. But see... but I know I'm digressing. But the point of the thing is that E3 feels like old hat, and they haven't evolved. And the same principle that it comes to G4 TV and malls today. Like, think about this: all the malls. Think about all the malls. I live in the United States, and depending on where you're at, and if you're UK or whatever, stuff like that, you're probably having some of the same issues too. Malls are disappearing. Why? Because people don't shop the same way that they used to. People don't shop the same way that they used to. And everything that you get right now is almost accessible with your hand. You can go on your phone, and Amazon is almost worldwide. You can go through Amazon and get almost everything. People still do eBay. Some people do Craigslist. I don't know if a lot of people will trust Craigslist because of all the issues with trusting people that you meet. But the concept is that everything's accessible. Even cable. Look at cable. Cable TV. People's cutting the cord. People said, oh, you know what? I can be selective about how do I get my movies on. Even going to the movies. Think about this. They already said that John Wick 4 is going to be on Netflix probably sometime in June or July. Actually, it was July or August. Yeah. It just came out. But they already have plans of bringing it home. You see what I'm saying? That now everything is like lightning fast. It's not the days and everything where people had to wait almost 4 years or like 2 years, 3 years to actually get a movie on VHS for the first time. or playing a music CD, and because you finally found out that the only way to get access to like one or two singles, you had to buy a single. You had to buy a single album, a single that actually has one or two songs, or maybe a variation of a song that you actually listen to on the radio. And only a few artists actually do it because they can actually afford it. But that's what's going on. E3 is now going through the same issue. So I hope that they could take this to heart and actually pay attention to history, which I feel that they don't, and learn from it. Maybe take a little variation about certain games, certain aspects of E3 that they used to know, right? And then merge it with all the new technology, and also discount. You guys, you gotta discount your renting space over at the LA Convention Center. What, did your deals actually fall through or something like that? What, did the rates actually go up to rent out the space? I mean, is it that difficult? I mean, your show is only from what, Thursday through Saturday. You open up your doors finally. You have to have time to build all the sets and whatever, the stages and what have you. What entertainment are you going to have there? I'm kind of curious. I know what PAX East looks like. I haven't even got an opportunity to go to PAX East yet. Shout out to the Iron Lords. I'm lucky for them. They actually saved their money. They went over to the PAX East. They said it was amazing, and believe it or not, I believe them because I've seen some of the footage. It was amazing. With Lord Cognito and Lord King and Lord Salvern. Come on now, listen. I still find that like that formula of PAX is actually going to be injected to E3 formula. So maybe you're gonna have a little bit of star power. Maybe they're gonna have panels. Maybe they're gonna be live panels of some things. Maybe you need to start setting it up that way. Doing the smart thing. Getting some of these devs to actually be able to have a Q&A. That's how you build, an audience that kind of has that same charisma and the same gusto. What about the swag? Do you have people? It doesn't have to be girls. It could be dudes. Passing out swag, passing out like lanyards, passing out freaking pins of certain games, of certain aspects and stuff like that. T-shirts, having a guy coming out in a thing with a freaking hand cannon and a thing. Boom. Come on, excitement. We want to be entertained. That is the problem. This is the concept that I don't understand. A lot of companies just don't get. See, this is what I'm talking about. When you talk about millennials and stuff like that, and new generation and stuff like, right? They're afraid to take risks. Okay? Companies don't want to spend the money. They're like, sit right there. They're looking for the quick buck. They're hoping against hope that others are going to use the word of mouth to kind of get around and say, hey, this is really awesome. He's like, oh, really? Can you show me? And then you show him. He's like, oh, maybe I want to. And then you want to spread the word that way. Guess what? It's the same thing as snail mail. It's too slow. Why don't you make a statement? Why don't you go out there and kind of show a little more gusto, little more oomph, and what have you? Come on, man. I think that if you really want to really have an impact, think about this. If you really want to have an impact, you got to show off. You got to show off just a little bit.
Great.
The thing that I realized too is that you as gamers need to give companies let the companies give their own recognition. I think you're giving companies a little bit too much credit, or maybe you're allowing them to be too lax, which is the reason why they keep on saying, "Hey, we don't need E3. Let's just do a stream." And you know what? The people out there, the content creators with the 100,000 or 200,000, 500,000, 1 million, 1.5 million subscribers out there, think about this. They actually want to get that clout. They want to be able to say, "Oh, let me make a stream of a thing and show them my thoughts." Yeah, that's nice on paper. But the thing is, too, is that I don't want to hear your banter in the background. I want to get my own assessment about what I see out there. I want to get my own assessment. Yeah, I'll talk about it afterwards. Sure, no problem. But the thing is that I don't want to hear somebody else inside my ear when I'm actually trying to hear what they're trying to sell me. I want to know about my product. Yeah, you got your own opinion. That's great. But see, the thing is too is that you're not allowing the companies, or you're not being loud enough and allowing the companies to actually say, "You know what? Maybe we're not loud enough." And you're actually saying, "Oh, well, we need more money." Where's the money going? Do you know where the money is actually going? It's not going into your pockets. You're the one spending the money. You're the one spending the money. Hey, guess what? You're cash, right? So, come on now. Let's be real here. The buck stops here. The buck stops at your wallet. If you want companies to actually do better, you got to realize and everything that you have the power. You as gamers have the power. You have the power to be able to change the course correct certain companies. You don't have to sit back and actually just take it. You don't have to. You could be able to be loud and say, "Listen, I don't like the direction. I don't." I mean, I'm pretty sure E3, the guys at E3, the ESA, they've been sitting back and everything for the past year and said, "Oh, well, we got to make an assessment about what we need to do." And they would sit right there and send invites to all these companies and stuff like that. And you know what? The companies will sit back and say, "Oh, you know what? We don't really need you. We don't need you. We got our own. We'll do our own thing. We'll do our own stream where we can actually control the narrative." We want to do that, right? Some are doing live streams. Some are doing the video streams, right? So they can give you the dog and pony dance, on their own accord. That's great, right? I think Microsoft is actually going to do a live show. Hopefully they do. I hope they don't do any of that, that, "Oh, yeah, you're going to do that blue screen nonsense." Listen. I get it. It saves you money. You can be able to, have it at your own pace. I get it. But the thing is, too, the E3 should be different from everything that happens throughout the rest of the year. Gamescom, they have their thing, but that's in Germany. Not everybody can get to Germany, right? It would be nice. I would love to be able to go to Germany. Oh my gosh, it would be amazing, right? Great experience. But think about this. Not everybody can do that. So let's make it a learning experience. Here's a little bit of advice. Okay, hear me out. Here's a little bit of advice that you can have to, that you can actually give to, I don't know. I'm gonna give this to pretty much everybody. All right, Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft, everybody, Ubisoft, Sega, anybody, okay? It's nice that you actually want to do your own thing. Don't get me wrong. But we also like to it makes it easier to actually have everything condensed into one spot. Just the scheduling, whatever it is, I don't know what it is, but it's more of a an opportunity. So, like interviews, whatever it is, live interviews. See, I think that's what it is. I think that's what they're afraid of. Maybe they're afraid of doing live interviews. I mean, Sony, I don't understand why you don't want to do any live interviews. You don't want any, scrutiny about what's going on, with the ABK deal and stuff like that, which is actually our next topic coming up very soon. As a matter of fact, this is a good segue. I wanted to get into that, but shout out to whoever is watching. I'm looking forward to everything. Feel free to use the chat. I really want people to actually start chatting. I want to actually have a little interaction here. It'll be nice. But anyway, check this out. I feel like gamers need to, hold a lot of these companies accountable, and demand that they actually be more interactive with the gamers themselves. I really feel that we can actually get that to happen. But people need to talk. People need to start get out of their shell and start being more interactive. Come on. With respect, of course. Respect is good, but you gotta say something out there, and stop with all that. Why are we fighting amongst each other? What is that going? How is that going to change anything? Why are we as gamers? Why are we fighting against each other? That doesn't make any sense. If you want to fight each other, do it on the battlefield. Play a game against each other. Get your frustrations out that way. Play a little bit of Street Fighter 5. Play some Mortal Kombat. Play some Call of Duty. Do some PvPs. One-on-ones. Come on. Fortnite, get on there. Overwatch 2, get on it. Destiny 2, whatever, get on it. Halo, get on it. There's ways of fighting. Fight that way. Fight that way. Don't fight amongst each other. Us as gamers and everything, we need to stick together. We need to grow. We need to become one. One objective. We're about gaming. Not about your console. Yeah, you might have favorites. Of course, you like them, right? But you gotta, in perspective, right? You gotta be a little bit more. Yeah, you just gotta be a little, a little bit more. So, but let's talk about the next. Let's go on to the next subject and everything. And I think this is actually something very, very important, especially when it comes down to games like U.S. companies in Japan. We just actually had, just recently, it just popped up that Japan is actually going to is actually allowing the Xbox ABK deal because they feel like it doesn't have joint interference. Now think about this. Now let's do this in retrospective. They said they actually had some issues with the merger because they felt that I guess there must have been some kind of scrutiny about Microsoft taking Call of Duty away from Sony and yada yada enchilada. But here's a problem. Now that Congress, the U.S. Congress, kind of caught wind about what's been going on with Sony's, let's just say, blocking of certain games coming onto the Xbox console. Games are not being allowed to be on Game Pass. Games that are not allowed to, they're not allowed to be made on Xbox at all. Super extending contracts for certain games to extend their exclusivity. I can go on. I mean, it's been notorious, especially when it comes down to Final Fantasy. The Final Fantasy games. Final Fantasy VII was supposed to be a timed exclusive timed console exclusive. It was. What happened? Oh, Sony super extended the contract. It was I think it was for 2 years. And then after the 2 years, they extended it another year. And then after they extended it another year, Final Fantasy 14. It was supposed to come out for the Xbox. I believe it was supposed to be 2 years, 3 years. I forgot what it was. And then all of a sudden, they said, nope. We decided to make it a permanent exclusive for the PlayStation consoles and PC. So so the games, no, it's not coming out for Xbox. Then of course there's games like Altair, the Altair series. Some odd reason, those games are from NXL. What is it called? NXL's studios. They're they said those games are not coming out for Xbox at all. Probably timed. I don't know what it is, but it's not coming out for Xbox. It's coming out for Nintendo though. The Nintendo console. And then of course the Final Fantasy 16, which is coming out now, is actually a PlayStation exclusive. Stellar Blade, another game that's supposed to be coming out for the Xbox, was supposed to be coming out for the Xbox. Guess what? Sony actually decided to underhand it and said, you know what? No, we're gonna make this a console exclusive for the PlayStation, which is the 5. It's not coming out for Xbox anymore. It was first announced for the Xbox, but then they took it off. And there's a few other games that are actually coming out very soon that they said they might do exclusive deals with. Then of course I actually did hear that Sony actually has a new CEO. One of the CEOs actually stepped down. I think stepped down or left the company. Then a new CEO stepped in and he said that we actually are going to be getting away from the NFTs, which I don't think is going to happen, because I think that you said something about they're going to kind of integrate NFTs or something like that. I have no idea. Or blockchain. I think it's blockchain. And then what happened? Oh yeah, they said, oh, but we are going to continue. We're going to continue doing exclusive contracts with Sony. That's what they said. Said verbatim. So, what's the deal? Please, you got it. This doesn't make any sense to me. I really feel like Sony, with their underhanded dealings, are completely unfair. But of course, it's fair when they have their Japan lobbyists. Of course, they actually spend their money to support their officials over there, and they're able to get away with it. PlayStation has right now a 98% share in the market. Video game share in the market. Console in the market compared to next generation consoles. Microsoft only has 2. The Xbox brand only has 2% of the market share. That's significant in many ways. That means certain territories that they sell consoles are they don't sell Xbox brand stuff, or better yet, they don't buy enough of the Xbox games or Xbox consoles. They don't buy enough. But Sony actually gets they start pouring there, and they actually do these little underhanded contracts. Think about it. They do underhanded contracts to these stores in Shibuya, okay, and in Ikebara, and all these other locations. They go to the stores and they say, oh well, if you sell Xbox products, we're gonna pull back most of our stock. You will not be able to sell our PlayStation products. That's exactly what kind of stuff that they underhanded stuff that they actually do, and they get away with it. They thwart and they actually suppress competition, U.S. competition in their country, which is actually completely unfair. And that's the frustrating thing. It's really frustrating. So think about it. I think that right now, gaming in general, I'm glad that the U.S. senators, that 11 in Congress right now, are actually stepping up and said, you know what, maybe we need to look into it. Maybe we need to start looking into this. I mean, and I think a couple of Republicans, they said we gotta look into this because this is actually unfair. This is unfair trade practices and everything. This is something that we actually, for the U.S. Trade Commission, the U.S. Japanese Trade Commission, they actually formed this coalition. I think it was back in 1998. They actually said that they will actually show fair trade, a promise to show fair trade amongst Japan and U.S. custom goods. And you know what? Sony just violated that promise. They violated it. They said, oh, you know what? We could get away with this, stuff like that. It's gonna be, no one's gonna know. It's gonna. The video game market is so small and so tiny that we could actually be able to kind of slip underneath the radar. And that's the reason why they were able to get away with what they're doing right now. That's exactly what's going on. And you know what? Do you find that fair? Oh, no. No. I don't find it fair at all. And also, that's actually another reason why that a lot of companies, Japanese companies, are not allowed to be purchased by American companies. But they had kind of changed. They did kind of change the rules a little bit because now you could be able to do that. And I believe Tango Gameworks and everything, which is a Japanese company that's actually owned by Activision Blizzard, they are allowed to be purchased by European companies, right? But see, this is the thing. Where's the difference? It seems like a double standard now. So that means companies that's like Square Enix, companies like Sega, companies like Atlas and Arc System Works, Bandai Namco, companies like that. These are companies right there that actually are pretty much right for the taking. They're right there. You can be able to do business deals with them and stuff like that. Whatever. Everybody's like, oh, but Xbox used to do contracts like that. This is not the same Xbox. Xbox is actually trying to make it fair so you can be able to play these games anywhere you want to. And if they want to make a contract and actually be able to give you an opportunity to play their games, why would they want to give away, to say no to free money? Why would you want to actually shrink the market? Why would you want to enclose it into one little small ecosystem? Why not expand it? Microsoft having ownership with certain things gives them an opportunity to expand. They get Nintendo. They already did that. They have a contract with Nintendo. They have a contract with Nvidia. They have a contract with I forgot what this company's name is. I forgot what the company's name is. Not Bloober. Goodness gracious, I forgot the name. Oh, I gotta look up. They made a they didn't have to do a contract with Steam, obviously, because Valve, because Gabe Newell was like, I trust them. Why do I need to do a contract? I don't need to do a contract and everything. Nintendo always, Xbox and Microsoft, they fulfill their promises. They say what they're going to say. They do what they say they want to do. We don't need the contract. So they have a trust. They have a bond. Okay. Now, and Satya Nadella, he is 100% behind it. People are hoping that Satya will say, "Oh, let's get rid of the Xbox ban," so you can smile and say, "Ha, we defeated Xbox." Sorry, not sorry. I'm not sorry. I really feel, that some of the fanboys out there need to just sit back and chill, have a couple of beers or whatever, take a cold shower, and just relax, dudes. Gaming should be for everybody. Also the same thing with Game Pass. Now, Game Pass, let's do a segue to Game Pass actually getting rid of the dollar deal. Why is it a bad thing? They had this system in for what? 6 years? 6 years. 6 years, dollar entry. 6 years. You have dollar entry to be able to get into the Xbox ecosystem, get into Game Pass, right? So you get $1, you can be able to get the Game Pass Ultimate for $1. And if you actually have Xbox Live or whatever it is, you could be able to stack stack the progress. You could be able to stack it. And you could be able to play your games for like $1. For like, I guess, the first month. And then afterwards, you could be able to pay, I believe it's $14.99 for another month. I believe it's like $180 for an entire year. 3 months, I think, is like $40 or something like that. So, look, why not, just relax and realize that all the streaming companies do that. Netflix actually had entry deals like that too. You get 1 free month. And then after the free month, you get, you have to pay, what was it, $9.99, and then it was $19.99, and then it went to $24.99, blah, 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 okay. And I think Paramount Plus did that, Hulu Plus did that. All these companies did that, Amazon Prime, they did that too. All the companies did that. And you see what you don't understand is that gaming in general, right? That when it comes to Game Pass, everything has a cost, and because of that, they can't maintain everyone canceling and reissuing $1 every single time. And besides, that deal, that should have been done. That should have been done years ago. It was a good entryway. It was a good entryway to get into Game Pass. But you know what? Getting rid of the dollar thing, actually does make sense. Just pay regular price. If you like Game Pass so much, there's like 500 games. Wo Long, great game. Hi-Fi Rush, fantastic game. Pentiment, it's quirky, different type of game, but it's still a great narrative game, by the way. And actually, BAFTA awards and everything, they gave it the best narrative game. So you see what I'm saying? You can play Guilty Gear Strive, which actually has been exclusive to the PlayStation brand for who knows how long? I forgot. It's like 3 years, 4 years, 5. I don't remember. And then of course the game that's coming out right now, I think hopefully soon. I heard that the what is it called? Blaze Blue Cross Battle is going to be coming out very soon for Game Pass. I've heard. Soon. I don't know when, but soon. And also rumor has it that Skullgirls, another one, the reboot, the updated version is going to be coming out for Xbox very soon. You see, all this stuff is coming out very soon. Game Pass is such a worthwhile purchase for only $14.99 a month. Now, another segue, we're going to talk about family. You have a family. We have a family plan that's coming out very soon. Hopefully rolling out fairly soon. I think by the summer. Hopefully by the summer. Where you actually I don't know what the price might be, but we're looking at what? Almost like 30, 25, 29. I don't know. I think it might be $30 a month. For $30 a month, you could actually have 5 members or friends sign with you. You could be able to link them and be able to actually have 5 people ride off of the Game Pass ecosystem, okay, for a 1 cent price, and they get to be able to play 500 plus amazing games that change out every like 3 or 4 months, depending on whatever games they are. Most games actually stay on for like a year. Some games stay on for 6 months. Some for 3. But you get an opportunity to play all these games. And you get 4 other people to be under your plan. Tell me that's not the best deal in gaming. Please tell me that that's not the best deal in gaming. And I'm sick and tired of people going out there and calling it welfare pass. Please, don't insult my intelligence. Okay? I like to be able to save money. You know why? Because I can save it for things that are actually more important. I can save it for rent. I can save it for food. I can save it for freaking, going to important places. I can be able to take my money to go to appointments. I mean, come on. I don't need to spend $70, every single time I get a free game. And besides, if I get that game, spend $70, and I only play it for like what, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, and then all of a sudden I'm like, I'm bored. It sits there and collects dust. This right here gives me an opportunity to be able to play the games as long as I want, and I can come back to it anytime I want. It could be 6 months, it could be a year. And guess what? You know what's better than that? I got more games to play. And guess what? If there's any updates, I can pay for the updates. I can pay for the new DLC without having to like shell out, $70 plus $19.99 or $70 plus $10. Do the math. Or $70 plus whatever kind of thing, little things that you want to add to the game, like outfits or new maps or whatever it is, right? Wouldn't it be nice, if you're in the middle of a game, right, and you're playing it and stuff like that, and then a new game pops up and it pops up on Game Pass, you're like, oh shoot, this game just popped up. Oh man, but I'm in the middle of playing this. You could be able to kind of pause that game, go into that game, play it a little bit, say, oh, damn, this game is really, really interesting. You know what? I'm actually going to get back into this game, but first I'm going to get into this one. Instead of actually paying $70 off the rip to play for like 10 minutes. What if you don't like the game? What if you buy it for $70? $70, 75, okay, plus tax, whatever it is, right? And then you bring the game home. You play it. You played it for the first 10 minutes, and then all of a sudden you got an hour in, and then all of a sudden you're not even interested in the game anymore. Oh, don't you feel stupid? You feel stupid because you especially just spent $70 and everything on a game that you're not even going to play no more. Oh, you can't bring, and guess what? You can't bring that game back for full price anymore. Maybe you can, if you actually, if you don't break the seal. If you go to GameStop right now and everything, you guess what? Oh, we can only bring it back and trade in value. Boy, you're out of like $30, $40. You spent what, $70 and everything, and you're only getting like $20 back? Don't you feel stupid? Come on now. Use your brains, people. Saving money is good. And besides, if you really, really like the game, and you buy the game, you get the game digitally, and it was actually on Game Pass, you get 10% off, dude. You get 10% off. You get a discount. And that's including the DLC. Yeah, that's right. Oh, you didn't know that? Oh, maybe you did. Maybe you didn't. I don't know. I'm just telling you right now. You actually get the game, and then you actually get the DLC for a discount because it's on Game Pass. That sounds like a good deal, doesn't it? So why don't you use the left side of your brain, way on the left side of your brains, for 1 minute and think about the savings. You're not poor by spending money smartly. Rich people spend their money smartly. They don't splurge it. They invest. If you invest, you actually save. Let me say that again. If you invest, you actually save. Smart purchasing, smart buying a service, getting great value, buying a game that you would actually play, a game that you can actually continue, and you save money. Win. Segue into my next point. Ubisoft Plus maybe coming to Game Pass. We don't know if it's going to be strictly the classics, like the Ubisoft Plus classics, but it might be. I think it might be the game. I think it might be the Ubisoft classics. Yeah. Let's just say that this might increase the value of Game Pass in general. Now, rumor has it, and this is just rumor, that they may have a certain tier, maybe a new tier that they might add to the service to kind of like by $5 extra, you might be able to get Ubisoft Plus, with classics or whatever it is. Just same way that they actually have it for the, I believe it was the Epic Store. Was it Epic Store? Yeah. You could be able to get the Ubisoft. Oh no, sorry, the PlayStation Plus. I think it was. Yeah. You get Ubisoft classics. That means a certain selection of games, kind of like EA Play, and you get to play those part of the service. For a little additional cost, which actually sounds like a great idea, because Ubisoft Plus by itself is like $20 a month. So why not for $5 extra? You could be able to play some Ubisoft classics like the original Assassin's Creeds, or play Beyond Good and Evil, or what's the other game? Play some of the old Far Cry's, like Far Cry 3. Things like that. So I feel like that Game Pass is just gonna get better and better as time goes on, and now with this ABK deal, it's gonna be even better. We don't know if that the whatever concessions that the CMA is actually going to put through there. The CMA already said that that the Microsoft ABK deal is has not going to be cause any ripple or any discern any problems when it comes down to competition anymore. It's just when it comes to console market anyway. They're still talking about the cloud gaming. They're still kind of curious about it because they still need to educate themselves about it. But the thing is, the games, man. It's really all about the games. And I feel like when this whole deal goes through, it's gonna get better. Call of Duty, might come to Game Pass. It's not a bad thing, right? And what about let's see, we got that. You got that. Call of Duty. Oh yeah, that's right. There's a new Crash Bash that's coming out. An updated version of Crash Bash. Can you imagine? I mean, that's that comes to Game Pass on day one. Diablo 4. Did you play the beta? It's great, good. It's not great. It's good. I mean, graphically, the narration of the game, it's amazing. And I believe that if you actually play the open beta, I believe your progress will actually transfer to the game when it actually releases in April. So, something to look forward to. But that possibility might come to Game Pass once the deal actually passes in April. I have a feeling that it's going to pass in April. I mean, the signs right now are already pointing in there. And the only roadblock right now that really isn't a roadblock is the FTC. But right now, they're actually going through their own little investigation with Sony. Of course, there were rumors having that Microsoft has to submit some paperwork or something like that. And I believe that Microsoft actually did redact a few other papers, but most of the stuff that they actually wanted, they actually did hand over. But think about this, man. This industry is so dynamic, and there are so many great things that are going on. But you know what? At the end of the day, we win as gamers. Why? Because this actually will enforce competition. Don't you want Sony to fight back harder? Don't you want Sony to actually revive old IP that you actually wish that they actually revive again? Wouldn't you want a new SOCOM? What about a new Resistance? How about Infamous? Think about this. What about all these games? These dormant games, they actually just kind of left to the, and they put it to the side. So I feel us as gamers right now should be happy that things like this are happening, shaking up the industry a little bit. It does also put an eye on the business practices on most companies. And I feel like that is about time. That video games are taken more seriously. That video games are a part of the entertainment ecosystem. And if you want games to be better, you got to allow video games to have that kind of recognition, good or bad. So, anyways, that's about we're just about getting into that hour anyway. So, if you like all the content that you just saw tonight, please hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. As always, I thank you for actually coming to my stream. If you actually see this at a later time, feel free to take a look and also bring you some feedback. You can actually visit me at HUDXERO, HUDXERO. That's on Twitter. And just drop a line. Just say, hey, and if you like it, great. If you don't, great. Just tell me either way. If you want to make some improvements, all right, I'll take it. Because any criticism is good criticism. So, but anyways, this is HUDXERO, the old school gamer, and of course, the Gamer Nation's champion. And like I tell all my friends, I'm going to actually change that up a little bit. I think I'm actually going to change that up. I usually say stay awesome. Stay awesome does sound great, right? But you know what? I'm actually going to change it up. So I'm going to say this because, it's actually been, one of those things that everyone should know about. If you know that you love gaming, just keep gaming, no matter what anybody says. All right. So, anyway, I'm out of here. Have a good day and stay gaming. Peace.